The customers of WPP and Group M, by and large, the top 1,000 businesses in the world. So we are, I like to call it a short tail business rather than a long tail business. And our business is more analogous with a CBS or an NBC, if you like, in terms of its structure and its customer base than it is perhaps with Google. So our estimate is that Google gets no more than 40% of its total revenues from the top 1,000 companies in the world, and the rest of it from a long tail.
I think it is important that we distinguish between those various different products. We mentioned search ads and display ads, and both follow a different purpose and both target on different consumers. If we focus on the search ads market, we have obviously a strong, close to monopoly position by Google in those markets, based on all measures, whether we could look on their share with respect to views, whether we look on their share with respect to reach, whether we look on their revenue figures. They are always reaching figures above 90% in Europe. If you look on the other market, the display ads, the situation is a little bit more dispersed. Here it is less clear. We have also other strong publisher around in the market, which holds some market power for placing display ads there. And but still, even here we observe, and also based on this Google DoubleClick merger, I think an improving market position of Google in this display ad market. And I think competition agencies throughout the world have understood that, have increased their scrutiny with respect to this type of mergers. And let me add that the Google DoubleClick merger, while being approved, was approved only in the second phase. So after a profound empirical investigation of the markets. And let me also add that the FTC, when approving this this merger, made clear, or I cite them, the FTC said, "We want to be clear, however, that we will closely watch these markets, and should Google engage in unlawful tying or other anti-competitive conduct, the Commission intends to act quickly." So it is well perceived that this market is now coming at a point where the usual argument, which is often run by economists, me as well, that in dynamic markets, competition policy should follow more a hands-off approach and let the market solve the problem more than the regulator. I think the online advertisement market is beyond that point and needs a careful scrutiny by the competition authorities.
At the beginning, internet, as we know, has been perceived by every one of us as a sort of consumer paradise. We can find everything for free. We can participate. We can watch video recently, and we can also write blogs. And since 2 years, we can also gain money writing blogs. I mean, $10 a month, but for an hobby, it's fine. And there are millions of people writing this kind of things, duplicating contents, producing news that are false, and everything with advertisements. For business, I mean, was almost the same thing. I remember that when we started to sell sites, we quote basically something about writing contents, something about design, something about technology. But for promotion, we told the customers, okay, that's Google, it's free. You can just technically organize information in order to be found by the user, and mainly until very, very recent days, the techniques basically are the same. And these things has allowed also many small companies to reach a large number of users with no investment in promotion. And this was something very important for innovation. If we count every .com nowadays in Europe, the most of them are still depending on organic search on Google. Google is their main shareholder, I have to say. Google at the end is a promotional tool. It's not a public service. I mean, also if it's for free, it's very important to understand this difference. When we discuss about advertising market, at the moment we don't consider organic search. And if we consider organic search, it means 95% more than advertising. And if you think that 68% of the buying process is determined before by a search engine, can you imagine what could be happening in the future? I mean, Google is good, is a nice behavior with the consumer, but you know, if you control such an amount of transaction information, it's something that we have started to believe maybe more carefully.
Personal data is very much a market issue. It's very much an economic issue, otherwise we wouldn't all be here today. But it's also very much a privacy issue, and therefore automatically an issue of you know, consumer interests and consumer protection. I think that the three issues, competition policies, data protection and consumer protection, are inextricably linked.